Sagittarius, I'm hearing which way is up. Okay, well, welcome to your April reading. This is for Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, Midheaven, and or Venus. However, whoever is meant to click on this video, you're here. And so I hope you hear all that you need, and definitely do subscribe before you leave. Coming into the month of April, we're already one foot in the door here. Energetically, what you guys will be feeling or experiencing, you have the Three of Cups with the Strength card and the Moon card that came out. And then going into the second and third week of April, you have the Five of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Fountain with the Ace of Coins. Going into the end of April, you have the Judgment card, the Empress card, and the King of Wands. Which, by the way, all of the remaining cards after the Moon card, they came out, but there was no clear sense of direction, right? As far as which ones came out first, technically, by my standards. Where have you lost your sense of direction? I feel like you guys are really looking for that lighthouse, and I'm saying that looking at the Moon card, you're really looking for some type of sign, some type of synchronicity, because you feel like whenever you see things, it's in conjunction with all the thoughts that you're having, right? All the ideas that you kind of want to bring into fruition. Don't know necessarily where to start, who to reach out to get it started, what to do, how to go about maneuvering, how to set up the flow of whatever it is that you're trying to produce, or whoever it is that you're trying to meet with, and the way that you can create like a symbiosis is what's coming through in your interaction here. The Three of Cups, you have a lot of love in your life, and I feel like you guys do know that people are really going to be showering you with love in the month of April. Which is nice, because you are also a fire sign, and so you can more easily than like an earth sign or a water sign adapt to the energy and be able to use it to your advantage. It's nothing new to you. And maybe that's it. Maybe things just aren't new enough for you. Maybe you're needing some type of freshness right here with the Fountain card, which tells you that you are the breath of the universes, and the Ace of Coins. But if nothing else, you're being showered with love and respect and honor, and you feel good about yourself, and you feel good on a very spiritual level with where you are in your spirituality. You're feeling very attractive, being given those types of sweet compliments, right? Being told those sweet nothings in the month of April. But then you also have the Moon card here. So there is like some sort of back and forth, some sort of high tide, some sort of heightened emotional experience that you go through. Maybe it's in your interactions, maybe it's with your friends and family, maybe it's when you're in a moment by yourself and you just become overcome with emotion. You can't believe how much you are loved, and how well things are going despite some of the things that aren't necessarily moving at this point in your life, right? There is some sense of stagnancy here. Are you really telling the truth? Are you really speaking from your heart coming into the second and third week? That's what you're going to be looking at with this Five of Swords and the Page of Cups. Honoring and healing your inner child as well, and the ways that you have been neglecting yourself on an emotional level by not wanting to display your emotions because they were perceived as a sign of weakness for so long, or that's what you were told growing up. Not to be one to cry, not to be one to tell people that you love them, maybe because you didn't hear it growing up. And so you're not so quick to do it for other people, despite the fact that you feel it within, like you feel like you love them, but you just can't bring yourself to say the words. So you're going to be working on that sensible, sensitive side of yourself coming into the second and third week. With the Fountain and the Ace of Coins, again, some project is halted, but in the very same breath, something can come of you being able to profess with your mouth, again, by speaking your truth, what it is that you want to see grow. Maybe there are some things that you have forgotten about with this energy that break ground. You see some budding in the month of April of things long ago that you thought that you had desired, and now it's coming back around the mountain, and it's yours for the taking if you feel like you deserve it, if it is in alignment with who you are and where it is that you see yourself moving in the next 5 to 10 years. This is being able to do away with those aspects of self that were, I don't necessarily want to say rebelling, but those parts of self that really didn't have structure. Maybe you haven't been the most organized, and that's what you're working on in the month of April, being able to put your thoughts on paper so you can see them, and then work on each thing that you wrote down one by one, and just looking at that instead of being so overwhelmed emotionally with all the things that you have to get done, and then feeling like you have to rush through the month of April, and then feeling really depleted emotionally. You have nothing else to give to those that you love because you're just trying to move along and get things handled. Do make time for self, do make time for family and friends. Don't lose sight of what is most important because you're wanting to chase the wind, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so heed that warning. Don't get so caught up in the materialistic things that a lot of time, which you cannot get back, goes by, and you're missing those special moments of kids growing up. If you have children, again, this can be family members, of friends that you haven't spoken to, that you've lost touch with. If you haven't lost touch with yourself, then this can be with those in your environment. And so making a dedicated effort to really change those things, wanting to improve and be a better person, definitely, because again, coming towards the end of the month, you have the Judgment card with the Empress and the King of Wands. You are going into the age of Sagittarius, depending on what your placements are. Again, only you know if you look up your natal chart information, and if you are unaware with how to do that, I have a link that I leave in my description box that is at your discretion. I do believe it's called Astrology or Cafe Astrology. That's the site that I used when I first started awakening, right, and wanting to know more about who I am and why I do some of the things I do, learning my little nuances, what makes me tick and where it stems from. Because when I first started on this journey, I had no idea, like no awareness of like subconscious desires. Like, what is that? I understand social conditioning from a psychological standpoint because that was my degree, but not how I was even conditioned within my own family. Like, I never put the two together until I put the two together, right? Psychology and astrology, and learning about my own placements. So that is a resource for you if you would like to use it. But with this Judgment card here, it's yielding a new age of growth and development for you, of fertility, of you now understanding laws of attraction and how things work, and that everything is always working out for the better, even when you are put in situations that you deem to be distasteful, or that you perceive to cause you some sort of physical pain. You understand that you had to go through it for a particular reason, because either you were ignoring something, trying to be stubborn and fight against it, or run from it, and then it just smacks you in the face, or you weren't being as observant and as conscious as you were supposed to be, and so something happened, right? There's always a reason for why you're going through a particular lesson. Some people don't understand karma. I feel like you guys in the last 7 years really have gone through some heavy karmic cycles where you had to repay debt from transgressions that you have caused other people, like pain that you've caused unto other people, even if you didn't think and it wasn't your intention to cause any harm, you did. And that's how the universe responds, right? It's the depth of pain that people recognize, and it deals it out to the person that caused the pain, if not to themselves, right? So you're going into another period of growth. and you're going into another period of being able to achieve great things, redeveloping your what is that called, ambition. Aries season is going to be really good for that. You're getting in touch with the ambitious side of you, as well as the more potent creative aspect of who you are, and dabbling into that. But whatever it is that you want, if you want a better career, you want that dream career, you want to be a mother, you understand the importance of needing to be a stay-at-home mother if you've just given birth, and understanding what you just did, right? And the miracle in the life that you created, the life force that you created, and whether or not you put your child in a position to be able to supersede that with which you were able to do, to supersede whatever it is that you were able to do in this lifetime. Though you are not on your deathbed, right? It's not over. There's still much for you to achieve and or accumulate and or obtain in this life, and especially in this season. Again, this is understanding that you are instilling the best characteristics into that of your offspring, so that they can go off and do great things as well. And they can only do that so long as they have the proper conditioning. Here we go, let's tie that in from you. As long as you are giving them positive reinforcement, as long as you are being understanding, as long as you are being forgiving, as long as you are being that nurturing caretaker and able to provide sustenance, and not doing things out of obligation, but because you actually desire to be that, again, to be greater. But for some of you, you are still wrapped up in that which way is up, like which way is out. Because you feel like you have been trapped in between for so long, in between two forces, in between the forces of nature, at nature's will, and you've just really been going through it. You're just waiting for that undercurrent to allow for you to swim your way up to the surface and breathe. When you do come out, and when you do come up for that air, just know you were taken under for a reason. You were made to see things that you couldn't see on the surface. You guys are naturally the shallow type anyway, so I do feel like you can get this, and you have been taking it in stride, and you should definitely applaud yourself. But again, with this Judgment card here, do unto others as you would like done unto you. Go above and beyond for those that have shown up and shown out for you. Show those signs of appreciation to those who have been trying to make an effort to be present in your life and to be consistent and to show you better than they have told you, right? That can match that energy. Somebody else had that in their reading where it was like, some people just can't walk it like they talk it. But you are matching your words with your actions, as well as those in your environment. So positive things are being mirrored back at this time, or that's what you're looking forward to once you come out of this period, unless you have been trying to be deceitful, right? Unless you've been trying to knock people down because you're on some sort of illusionary high horse, and you feel like you are superior, and there are people that are below you that just aren't worthy, and you've been giving that type of vibe off into the universe, then that is going to come back around, right? You reap what you sow. But April, and it being spring, this is the perfect time, if things are not again yet budding in your life, for you to fertilize the soil and to plant new seeds and to do better in this next season, because you know better. If you're in a relationship, embrace the love. If you're not yet in a relationship and you've been single, somebody that is stable and somebody that can be a provider as well, can provide for themselves, isn't the clingy type, very independent, a go-getter, if you will, very ambitious, and can match you as far as being able to enjoy the simple things in life and certain pleasures that come with being adventurous you do have that coming in. You have the opportunity to experience that, but again, you have to deem yourself worthy enough to have such an experience and not think that it's just, oh, some type of fairy tale that one can never live up to.